Until Halo or Gears goes over, I refuse to believe it's everything.
Got my Halo, Gears, and Forza. Halo, Gears, and Forza. Halo, Gears, and Forza. Halo, Gears, and Forza. If you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of gaming.
Playstation.
Buddy, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today is the day you've probably been waiting for quite some time. We finally have an official Halo Edition Salt content feeder at this point in time, because boy oh boy, there's a ton, so much that obviously we can't get through all the salt out there in the world, but maybe that's multiple segments we'll have to visit. But let's not wait, let's not delay, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, in order to keep this video not too long here, we're going to get right to it here. Just want to preface saying that there's a lot of good and golden receipts as far as the past ones, saying this wouldn't happen, this, that, and the other. We will get to those, but right now, this edition, I want to focus on the current ones, the current feelings, the current shock around the world, even though most of us, including myself, knew this was going to happen much sooner than later, and here we are. So let's start off with our first example here. This is going to be about Snap Blast Play here, even though Tim Dog did start this thread here, but Tim just states, sorry brother, you are a good fan and people like you are great fans, just realize that they are third party now. Halo is going to Nintendo and PlayStation, etc. So, unfortunately, not unfortunately that I like Tim, I do like Tim. I think he's a good dude overall and all that good stuff. And I think we have a good talking relationship and everything. But unfortunately, Snap Blast Play is not a good person nor a good Xbox fan, and he has hindered the Xbox brand in his own way by shilling, frauding, grifting, spreading misinformation and all that stuff instead of being honest and truthful. So unfortunately, he is not one of those good Xbox fans out there. But as you can see here, he responds by saying, thanks man, we all knew it was coming. He tried to act like it wasn't going to come, but sure, he all knew it was coming. And if he did, he didn't allude to that for a lot of his followers and his presence on social media. And from a business perspective, it makes 100% sense. Xbox has 10 first-party games this year and released 10 last year, potentially 10 next year. Yes, welcome to what Ubisoft, EA, and etc. do. They release a lot of games, sometimes up to 10 a year, and when you are Microsoft and now a full third-party publisher and you own ZeniMax and ABK, those two alone are enough to release first-party games in that quantity. It's not rocket science. They are not anybody special other than a conglomerate company that purchased these IPs and are able to allow them to release the games as norm. The platform isn't big enough to justify those numbers on one system now, especially after ABK. So that's the new narrative, the goalpost shifting. Do you see how he's not a good person? He's still living in denial, and it's like the platform isn't big enough to justify the numbers on one system now. That's not what it's about. Game Pass hindered it. Game Pass was the issue. Fraud, shills, and grifters, like yourself, Snap, are part of the reason why the Xbox brand continued to flounder. And this isn't just on the fraud, shills, and grifters. This is on Phil Spencer and company as well throughout the years. Don Matrick, all that sort of stuff. They've all conveyed messaging incorrectly. They all tried to play buddy-buddy with these fraud, shills, and grifters. And delusionalists, it's a problem, right? It's a problem. Let's keep going because we have a lot to go over here. Nowhere on the next one. Halo on PlayStation is cool, but you know what would be cooler? Getting Spider-Man on the Xbox doing something for the fans. So, we're back to true port begging, right? We mentioned in my last talking about video just the other day, right? Talking about Halo and everything, and where you got Alex and all the other fraud, shills, and grifters stating that PlayStation fanbase was begging for Xbox first-party games when that was not the case. It's all in the trolling matter. It is all in fun and games because, again, if people really wanted to, they would get it. But now the Xbox community, these fans, these delusionalists are very upset. They want tit for tat. They want to trade. They want to feel better about the direction of Xbox instead of just realizing the truth of the matter that they're third party full on, and maybe you should invest in a PC or PlayStation or even a Switch. But if you want those Xbox games in a better rate being played, I would recommend a PC or PlayStation 5 over the Nintendo Switch, or just a combo of sorts, right? But nope, they want something back because they're still hanging on. They got that fingernail. They're still trying to hang on to that ledge with a fingernail. Just give us something, please. Give us Spider-Man, God of War, whatever. But it's not happening anytime soon, guys. And I don't foresee that happening on a traditional Xbox console. It'll continue to release as it will on PC. But as we continue to go on here, I wanted to share this real quick. This is just from a thread from Xbox themselves right after the announcement. Wart. If you know Halo, you know what that means, what that reference to, all that sort of stuff. But let's move on, because this is going to be a pretty distinguished thread here of what they're responding to. So we have Emiya. F off, you a-holes. You have just made PlayStation the definitive home console to own. I'm never buying anything from you clowns ever again. Whether that be true or not, we'll see. They throw a fit and they still stick with the brand, but because they go down with the ship. But we'll see. This is going to rattle a lot of folks to actually purchase a PlayStation 5 that want to stay on a console basis, right? That don't want to dabble into the PC ecosystem and deal with troubleshootings and all that sort of stuff. And there's just a little more to it than plug and play, and it auto updates everything for you, etc. So you do have options out there, and yes, I think the PlayStation has been the definitive home console for quite some time, aside from Nintendo's first-party exclusives. If you want those, you need to get those. But as far as definitive for third-party and PlayStation's first-party, and now Xbox first-party, you are looking at the definitive console. You are right there, and I'm sure you are pissed off. I'm sure you are. As we continue, Final Chaos. What are you going to do what are you doing to the Halo franchise, right? Yeah, good question. What have they done with Halo Infinite, guys, though? I mean, the campaign, from what I hear, didn't play it. From what I hear, it was fine. There's nothing. And they let the multiplayer aspect go to crap, from what I understand, and riddled with microtransactions and cat ears and all sorts of random stuff that doesn't make it feel like Halo. Like that Halo-centric game. They just used it as a way to garner that money, that income, right? Through microtransactions and to appeal to the mass casual audience. And I understand why. That's where the money lies, and that's what a business does. But unfortunately, they've tainted the brand for quite some time, and I think they've really tainted it from the announcement of Halo Infinite, it being delayed, and the steamroll, the snowball avalanche effect that has happened. So I think you know the answer to that, Final Chaos, but let's continue here. Kidtastrophe 99. Master Chief, permission to leave ship, sir. Lord Hood, why? Master Chief, to give the Covenant back their bomb. So I think that's pretty good. They're just like, you know what? Let's make this canon, right? Let's make this canon where, you know what? Let's just let the Covenant do their thing, and Halo is no more. It doesn't need to be anymore because they're done. They're wiping their hands of this. I think that's a good analogy there of what a lot of the Xbox fans are saying, especially the normal ones where they're probably like, and I don't know much about Catastrophe. Maybe they feed into the nonsense shills, grifters, and all that, but from what I'm seeing here, it seems like a pretty sane comment, and probably how I'd be feeling if shoe was on the other foot, right? But let's keep going here. Luxo, if we lose our way if I can say this right, if we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox. Phil Spencer, 2011. I do want to share this because I've said this a few times on social media as of late, and it's just really paved the way. And I think those words do speak true because they did lose their way with Xbox since Infinite especially. Some can argue even before that a little bit. You could see the direction it was going, some of the quality, stuff like that. It just, something wasn't right. It felt off, right? And then, of course, with Infinite and the fiasco and the delay, like I just mentioned previously, and the live service part of it, and you name it, right? It felt like an incomplete package. All sorts of stuff. And, it wasn't made by Bungie anymore. And all credit due to 343 Studios. I don't know how they were ran behind the scenes. I don't know if they had any true direction from the high-up corporate leadership. It doesn't sound like it. They lost their way with it. And I cannot believe, the weird thing to me is that he said this supposedly back in 2011. I thought it was after that, so chat, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but I thought it was after 2011. But if it was clear back in 2011, regardless of when it was stated. I know it was stated at least 5 years ago or so, I believe. And yeah, I mean, those are the truest words I've heard at any point in time, or any of the truest words I've ever heard from Phil Spencer's mouth, but it just kind of came to fruition. Just wanted to share that there. Now, as we go on, we got Breaking Rain here. Why did you put it on PlayStation? Why did you put it Halo on PlayStation, right? Swipe, what I wanted to share here, because, I mean, Breaking Rain, first of all, if you don't know now, I don't know if you ever will know, this has been the trajectory for quite some time. This is why we've been saying Halo's coming. It wasn't a port-begging fiasco. As soon as Forza broke and was announced that it was coming to PlayStation, we knew Halo was coming. Forza was at first a forbidden fruit. We knew it was going to be Gears or Halo next. Which one would it be? It's kind of a toss-up. It ended up being Gears. As soon as Gears was there as well, you knew 100% at that point in time Halo was coming. When Forza happened, you knew it was probably going to happen, like a 75-80% chance. As soon as Gears followed as well, it's like, why would you leave Halo off at this point? 100% coming, right? As we continue through that thread, though, Swipe states, I think it's to get them hyped to Halo and Gears, and then seeing the mainline games be only Xbox and PC means they either have to get Game Pass or next-gen Xbox. I can see that for sure. So, again, not paying attention to reality, not living in reality, right? I think this would be a fine go-to, right? If they weren't doing that, if they're dabbling in on it, right, for the first time, and this wasn't a precedented thing, you know, it could be a path to the truth, right? It could be, but where Xbox is at this point in time, why anybody would think this at this point in time when they've gone full third party, everything's coming. It isn't to entice users and consumers over to their brand or to their ecosystem necessarily, because Game Pass is everywhere. Everything's an Xbox. They ran with that ad. They messed up, guys. They messed up. That's not the way to go. We know that now. But what choices did they have? It was a Hail Mary, right? But as he continues, I hope I'm right. I think it's a strategy they have to them that they have them only remaster Gears, remaster Halo. I think Halo 7 and Gears E-Day will still be only on Xbox PC, as I asked AI multiple times. But you never know with these companies. They like to shoot themselves in the foot. Another piece of advice, Swipe, and anybody else that may be thinking along the same mindset as Swipe, don't listen to AI. It's not quite there. It's doing great things. It's going to get better in a short amount of time, but don't rely only on AI. This is common sense. AI is only going off of data and statistics and articles and everything else that it's pulling from. This is not going to help you come to a sound solution at this point in time. It's not there. It can't read feelings. It can't predict things at this point in time in regards to what you're asking. If you're asking Grok, Chat GPT, anything like that, that's not the case. But they're in a special place right now in regards to what's going to make them feel better. Hoping, still clinging on with that fingernail on the cliff's edge, trying to hold on in any way, shape, or form of any sort of semblance, but that's not the case. Don't be like Swipe. Understand the reality of it. Understand what you need to do for you as a consumer. What makes sense for you? Is it to go PC? Is it to go PlayStation? Is it to go Switch? Is it a myriad of all three? A combination of sorts, like I mentioned previously. You got to ask yourself that stuff. What makes sense for you? Don't waste your time, effort, and money into these brands and corporations that are going to lie to you, that have been chosen to lie to you. And I'm not saying PlayStation or anybody under the PC or Nintendo ecosystem for corporations is going to do much better, but you can at least see what's going on in the direction of the company and what's going on with exclusives, what's going on with games, what's going on with hardware, all that sort of stuff. So at least you can take some stuff at face value. That's what you kind of have to do. And Nintendo, PlayStation, and PC don't seem to be heading in a negative direction from what we can tell at this point in time. As far as Xbox, they've had to pivot, shift, and all that sort of stuff. So do yourself a favor, take a step back. I know it's hard. I know it's hard if you've been a fan for 20 plus years or whatever the years are for you, and however that concerns you. But you need to take a step back and do what's best for you, and stop listening to this Microsoft corporation, first of all, because they've done nothing but lead you all astray. It's not good. Now, before we leave here, I just want to share one quick video. I said nothing like an old receipt, but I do want to share one old Alex video here. I think it bears without mention what this is going to be about. Go ahead and take a look at this here.
What a hell of a week have we had already, huh? The past 2.5 weeks have been nothing but insane, with everybody thinking they knew what was going on, pretending to be actual insiders, swearing that every single game was coming to PlayStation from Xbox, thinking they knew what was going on, claiming Starfield was going to the PS5, pretty much guessing the fact that Xbox is going to be no more after this business update. But then what actually happened? An entire, absolute nothing burger.
All right. It's like I was saying, why we have grifters, frauds, and shills like Alex, right? This is case in point, right? And I know at the time that he made this video that nothing was set in stone, nothing was officially announced, nothing was maybe super tailored to that direction, but to me, it was common sense. It was common sense. And to sit there and be so sure of yourself that, oh, it's a nothing burger. I mean, why would you say that? You would say that because you're trying to appeal to your audience. You're trying to appeal to the sheep that follow you. You're continuing to grift. You're continuing to shill. All that sort of stuff. The receipts are out there, man. I mean, you're going to say stupid stuff. It's going to be there. There's no reason to say stuff if you don't know either. It's not a nothing burger. Right? I'm not going to say nothing's a nothing burger when you have all this evidence stacking up just to appease an audience. I'm going to say, I'm not sure. Like if people are asking at the time when Helldivers was coming over to Xbox and they're saying, oh, Spider-Man God of War assuredly isn't coming over to Xbox. I don't know. I don't know yet. I can only perceive that they're trying the live service thing. And now with the direction of Xbox going in the direction they're going and whatever their hardware ends up being, probably mostly a PC, it's going to be on that anyways. So that's what I try to help my audience with by being honest, not leading them along, not lying to them, not pretending, not living in a delusional land, being as honest as I can possibly be with the information that's presented to me and what I'm seeing all around social media and in real life, right? It's that simple. But I just wanted to share that because anybody that thinks that Alex knows what he's talking about, that anybody thinks that Alex is this guy that's just trying to do the best for the communities. No, it's not. And also, he's still wrong. Exclusives matter, always will, as long as they possibly can, right? The only reason exclusives won't matter is if for some reasons there's some sort of collapse they're not getting in the return. You do have to shift and pivot, much like what Xbox has had to do. They screwed up. Exclusives aren't going to save you. Exclusives aren't meant to save you. It's meant to bring quality. It's meant to bring all sorts of other things to it. They do matter. They make ecosystems special. They help create that quality. We're not going to go any further into the exclusives talk anymore, but I just wanted to preface by saying that and end with that. So that being said, folks, we have a ton more salt in regards to Halo. Let me know if you want to see a bunch more Halo salt as well. We can make multiple videos. We got some old receipts, which are glorious ones because they were so sure that that was not happening for Forza, Gears, and Halo, all that sort of stuff. You gotta love it. So tons of content, tons of fun. We will wrap up the video here. If you haven't already, definitely leave a like, comment down below. Would love to hear from you. What do you think about this whole thing? All the Holy Trinity has been given over to PlayStation as well. It's over. It's over for Xbox as far as being a dedicated console and all that sort of stuff, and exclusives in my opinion, but we'll see what happens there. That being said, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. Feel free to hype up the videos. That helps out the algorithm and push those videos out as well, and that's much appreciated. And for more of the truth, more fun, all that sort of good stuff, definitely stick around and hang around and be part of the community. Would love to have you along. Thank you so much, and always at the end of the day, just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.